Looking forward to the inevitable end. Boys, we're gonna get a little dark, but do you guys ever feel like like you're ready to go, ready to leave Earth realm and kind of get over it? Like it's like, oh, okay, wake up, pay our bills, make sure to eat, make sure to move the body a little bit, and that's not even like you don't even really have to do that. I guess if you want to end quicker, I suppose. But it's like, bro, I remember being like super young. Like I think it was like 13. I woke up from my NPC state, and I was like, bro, what are we doing here? Who's in charge? Why are they in charge? And then you start looking in, you're like, why do we trust these people? These are not good people. And you start looking down like any instances, politicians, churches, entertainment, the law. With I guess that'd be in politics as well, potentially. I guess. And it's like, bro, everything's rigged against us, or is siphoning our energy, bro. What are we doing here? And it seems like most people kind of just play the game until they don't. There's a lot of people that are awake, but the people that are awake, you probably don't see them often because they probably escaped or they went to the woods or something, or they're just like the silent. They understand what's going on. They're going through their motions, but they're kind of checked out too. Or I actually think there's a graduation stage too of being checked out and then realizing the only thing you can really do is just, enjoy what you can, be positive about what you can. And that's ultimately the goal. But man, time is just flying by, eh? Like, I don't know, man. I kind of look forward to not having to do this anymore. like it's chill. I enjoy some things, but I don't know, man. It's seems like everything's declining really fast, and I don't even know what part of the world would be like a good spot right now. To be honest, it seems like so many countries are having issues, and the unfortunate truth is, I mean, there's only two options, right? And and it sucks that this world is based off of how much your net worth is, dude. What's this fake currency? And how much of that do you have? And you can buy your freedom with that because now you can pay off other people's freedom to do it for you. It's pretty much just a tool for other people's effort and energy. ah, oh, and oh man, if you were born in a family where you just had everything taken care of, dude, those are the people that probably just want to live forever. I don't trust the person that says they want to live forever, bro. It's like, you want to be here forever, bro? And you know what's freaky? And, I don't know if this is necessarily like a religious take. I think it's, it could be seen religiously, spiritually. But I also think scientifically that your energy can't be created or destroyed, I guess. It just changes shape, which is an interesting thought pattern to go down. So, but the big question is our consciousness technically energy? And does it go somewhere after our shell passes away here? And it's tricky because a lot of people say, yes, the laws of how everything works, it has to, it is, so it must always be. But then you have people be like, well, I don't remember anything before I was here. So is this me just coming out of the ether? But if it can't be created or destroyed, I guess I was always here, but I have no memory of it. So do we just fade back to black? Because it must have just been black before I was here, right? And that makes sense. But you know what's also interesting? The kids that have memories of past lives. I don't think kids like lie until they do. But like super young kids, have you seen that where they just start spewing off like these crazy knowledge bombs? And it's like, bro, have you been watching Ancient Aliens? How do you know this stuff? But the kid's like 4 and he's just here. He hasn't really like done anything besides have his Gerber and probably some like Trix yogurt and whatnot. And that stuff's interesting. It begs the question, like, what's really going on here? Um, so, you know, ready to leave, but what if you can never necessarily leave at the same point? So it's like maybe we're always just stuck here. Who knows, man? And I don't know. Maybe this is stuff. I almost feel like subconsciously we all. It's like the human condition, right? Of knowing we're finite, potentially. Knowing our shell is finite, potentially, but seems to be because other people have passed and whatnot. So it seems to be the case in one way or the other. And I think we all have like this escapism about that. I think that's why we make up everything. I think that's why everything's kind of fake at the end of the day. To add like arbitrary meaning to things, like set up these systems. Oh, get your doubloons and get your dollars. Raise your tax credit score, bro. Ooh, make sure to get health insurance. You got to earn. We have all these little like arbitrary systems. It's like, bro, we have all the supplies to just like let people live, but it's like, oh, but if we don't make a game out of it, people won't do it. And it's like, I don't know. I think they still will. Yeah, they might not try to make your paper towels and your Tide Pods, but granted, we are reaching a stage where, I mean, machines are already doing a lot of that anyway. Machines will be doing like all of that very soon, which is gonna be freaky, bro. I do want to talk about it in a different video, but I guess since I'm on it, dude, the AI coming in hot right now, dude. I don't know if I know some people realize. I always catch myself because I don't want to generalize. I think people are aware. I don't think I'm over here with the all bearing truth. I think I have holes, and I try to fill those holes, and I also try to question them. Hopefully, you boys see that. I'm not trying to spew anything. I'm just speaking the thoughts that entered this brain, I suppose. And bro, the AI, dude, I don't think we're ready, man. I remember reading the thing. A bunch of tech CEOs in 2024 ended up stepping down, and apparently it was because of AI. Like AI is just going to be flooding this market. It's going to be crazy. And maybe they're just retiring. They're like, well, my job's done. It's like they weren't really doing anything anyway. Where they just like, showing up to, public meetings if you're the face of the company and be like, oh, well, this is what we're working on at Meta. I guess Zuckerberg hasn't stepped down, but I read like a bunch of CEOs have stepped down because of this AI wave. It's freaky, man. So obviously, like the easy jobs are going to be obsolete. So like fast food and delivery drivers, probably truck drivers as well. We know automation with cars is coming in quick. I don't know if you guys have like Waymos or anything around you guys, like the self-driving cars. That blows my mind. I feel like we all should have been able to agree that that should be a thing or not. I feel like that shouldn't be just a corporate entity gets to decide that, but I guess they decide everything at the end of the day, right? And they kind of bought and sold everything here. Oh, but so cars, anything driving related, anything delivery. Um, Dude, how much longer until we have like AI that can like do construction? Dude, I remember they can like 3D print houses. Bro, we're so cooked. We have all these resources that we like test things on, and which is cool in a human way where it's like, oh, dude, look at what we're achieving. But it's like, why can't if it's this easy to do, why don't we just give this stuff out to people? If we can 3D print houses, why do we have homeless people still? There should not be a veteran in this country that doesn't have a house, man. That blows my mind. That blows my mind. Oh, it's because they're mentally ill. It's like, I think we all would be mentally ill if we went over and fought overseas, saw the gruesomeness of war, and then, I don't know, realize we're not technically the good guys. We're not doing good things. None of it, none of that whole, I mean, oh man, there's an argument. Like, obviously, you gotta respect the soldiers, right? Because I think they had a good heart, essentially. Unless they realized they were like psychos and they wanted to go over, like they realized that's all they could probably ever do is like be a war guy. And I mean, I respect that they realized that about themselves, not tossing shade. But you got to respect that. Oh man, how do you word this? Like, their intentions were probably good. Their intentions were probably good, and they were sold the narrative, right? The military-industrial complex narrative. So your neighbor who is a veteran, it probably isn't a bad guy. It goes up the ladder. But anywho, still, all veterans deserve a house. I think everyone deserves a house. We have the material. Everyone deserves food and a house, bro. Is that too hard to wrap your brains around? Like, what are we doing? It's just because of this fake currency that they just print billions of anyway and flood their pockets and do insider trading and fund wars, and then they fund the companies that rebuild these towns, and then they plant in their new politician to. Oh my god, dude! Oh, it's rough out here, bro. It's rough out here, but gotta realize when you're fortunate too. You know, I technically could have bought any food item today that's around me, so that's fortunate, right? Thanks, guys. You know what kind of bugs me? People who simp over capitalism. It's like, bro, the best thing about capitalism is if you get screwed over by a company, there's nothing really stopping you from making a better product and sinking that company by just like making a better product than them. But most of the time they'll just buy you out and squish you. But that is the best thing. But I don't like how people like simp over capitalism. Like this system is so like amazing. It's like people simp over people who have money. It's like most of these people have money. Not that there's not some people that made it themselves. There's definitely a lot of them that did, especially like back in the heyday of America for sure. But it's a lot of times, man. Majority. And if you're one of these people or know one of these people or one of your family members, they grinded it out and they killed it. They made the right investments. Got lucky with an opportunity or timing, whatever it may be, man. I'm not trying to take that away, but majority of the time it's nepotism, gets you everywhere. It's connection based, man. It's not really like who you are, it's who you know. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow, man. No one really, but the humans, or us humans, you can't really do anything alone, nothing can be done. So I'm not saying it's bad that these people work together, did it? It would just be nice if more of us were in that crowd, dude, in that group, I suppose. You get what I'm saying? I don't think I'm necessarily expressing my full thoughts on this. My brain's a little jumbled everywhere because, I started off saying how I'm kind of stoked to leave the system. It just feels all fake, man. It doesn't feel genuine. It just feels like everything's just pretend, man. It's just pretend. Advertising, and it could just be, I just want to say it's like in these first world countries kind of like this, but then obviously you don't want to be in a third world country. That sucks too. So it's like we're super fortunate with things, but we also have like the shadow of the being fortunate that casts over everything, and everyone's suffering and everyone has a vice nowadays. Be it addicted to substances, addicted to some kind of online medium. And then obviously, like, dude, there's tons and tons of like psychos and criminals that I feel like we don't necessarily talk about, probably because it's freaky. Yeah, and they're addicted to something way that's hard to comprehend, man. It's hard to comprehend. But yeah, man, it's just weird here, right? But what's the answer, right? The only real answer is just do what you love, know this ends, be positive about it, and spread love and joy, all that jazz, bro. That's all we can really do. But are you guys kind of looking forward to when this kind of just ends, bro? You don't gotta grocery shop ever again, bro. You never have to do laundry again, bro. And these are small ball things, bigger ball things, big balls. Never have to see another person you care about pass. That's a good one. Never have to be around a pet that passed. That's always sad. Never have to stress about financial decisions. Sick. And I guess it's all at the end of the day. It's a mindset. You kind of just have to accept what is. That is kind of the only answer, unless you want to suffer, I suppose. But I don't know, and that's fine. I'll be doing that until this fades away. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess whenever it wants me, man. I don't think I'll be holding back too much. And I don't know. Yeah, is that dark? I almost just feel like that's just that feels like normal to me. I don't know if I'm too far gone at this point, but that just kind of feels normal at this point. It's like, if you guys knew me in my day-to-day, pretty positive guy. I'm down to talk about anything, but I do like harsh truths. Like, kick me in the mouth with harsh truths. Like, I don't want no sugarcoating. And there is a lot of things to enjoy, for sure. It's just the overarching like core theme of it all. You know, like surviving in a day and age like this. Indeed. Oh man, whew. And as positive as I want to be, it does seem like we're heading into such a weird time. I think there's always been points in history, especially depending on where you are, obviously, where it's been rough, mad rough. It's been way rougher in certain areas. It's mad rough in certain areas today. But it kind of feels like, and I don't know if it's just because I'm decently new here, like I haven't been walking the earth for that long, right? Where it does feel like, and maybe I was just a little unaware when I was a kid, though. But I don't know, man. I feel like if you talk to people who are like 20 years older than I am, so they were like in their 20s when I was like super young, I'd be curious if it was crazy rough back then too. I guess I don't know. Probably in some ways, right? Yeah, it's probably always. It just feels like now, man. It just feels like we're getting hit in so many different angles. I think that's what it is. Like there's always been war in the, what causes that. Read some books. You'll see the core themes of who's doing that stuff. Sick. So there's always that, right? And thankfully, if you're in, really kind of just like America or North America. Well, no, not really Mexico, bro. It's rough down there. It's rough here too, man. You can be in a bad city over here, and that's practically war, in a way. And it's not like war, but if people are like offing each other, it's the same thing, man. They're building up their kill streaks. But I don't know, man. I guess what I'm trying to say is just this day and age, right now in 2025, feels like we're getting hit by a bunch of different angles, man. And it's kind of like, what's going on? What do we do? What's even worth doing right now? It seems like the system is absolutely failing in all aspects. Jobs have been pretty destroyed for the past few years. And then it like became pretty good again. A lot of people have found work, quote unquote, online, right? That TikTok boom in 2020. Man, I was not using social media in 2020, but a lot of people started making their empire in that time. Dang, bro. I was just working remote, playing like Assassin's Creed and probably like some Final Fantasy 14, dude. Oh, I guess dude, what a weird, that's a topic for another day. But yeah, man, it just feels like we're getting hit by so many angles. The AI taking the job, system failing, money is weird right now. And I don't know, it just seems like so many people are like kind of lost, man. Seems like there's a lot of no hope going on. And I'm not just talking about like our own circles, like the people you see on day to day, man. Like there's like cities that have given up. It's rough out here, man. It's rough out here. But, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If there's a positive, this ends, man. What do you guys think happens when this ends? Do we fade to black? Does our consciousness go somewhere? Do we respawn? Do we jump to a multiverse that we didn't pass? Yeah, or just reincarnate as something else. It doesn't even have to be a person. What do you guys think? I find that stuff super interesting. Because to me, there's not a wrong answer because there's no definite right answer. So all answers are on the table and deserve to be respected and just talked about. Who cares? It's like you can't prove it or disprove it, so talk about it, contemplate it. That's how I kind of view everything, though. I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong. You can kind of flip anything on its head and make it sound goofy if you wanted to, which is a strategy for all this propaganda out there, bro. Oh, anywho, bro. Thanks for listening. I guess I didn't really know where I was going with the venting. Started with that, and then I was just getting it out, man. I guess it's been in my psyche today. So, thanks for listening, bro. I appreciate you. Do something for yourself today. Do something for someone else today. And we got this, bro. Remember, this ends. Let's just enjoy while we're here, bro. All right, take care.